Ahoy hoy and welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And this is your weekly digest of all the Star Wars news you need to know that's fit to print.
Or say.
Yes,
so should we fire
you
straight
know what
in
I mean.
then? Are you ready now?
Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go.
Okay, here we are. Ready. Starts for 10. There has been rumours about the running time of The Last Jedi, and now it's been confirmed that it will run for 150 minutes. So, before I go on to the next little bit on that, 150 minutes, so it is the longest running Star Wars film. Seems okay to me. 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. I mean, it's
obviously got a lot to fill in, hasn't it?
Well, it has, but I would say that every Star Wars film's got a lot to fill in. It's how they use that time. We've said before, I think it's going to go to the usual sort of Star Wars structure. There's going to be 2 or 3 storylines threading through at the same time. Yeah. So they've got to give each of them a fair amount. I mean, if it was 2 hours or if it was 3 hours, I wouldn't mind as long as it's good stuff. That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rian Johnson was in France when he confirmed this. Also, while he was talking in France, he also confirmed that Rogue One director Gareth Edwards has a cameo in The Last Jedi.
Okay.
So that's been confirmed. Although he didn't confirm what or he did reveal that he has a cameo. So, who else do you think will appear? Now, rumour has it, we've spoken about this before, but Prince Willie and Harry. Willie.
Well, no, I think that's already been confirmed.
Are they in it?
And Gary Barlow.
Is he in it?
Yeah. Well, we did a whole bloody show. Yeah, one of them was called that.
Yeah, I know, but was it confirmed?
Well, that's what they seem to be saying.
Yeah, so...
and there was another one, wasn't there?
Has there been any more?
I can't remember who else.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Depending on whether they're all going to be stormtroopers or whether it's going to be...
like the Simon Pegg sort of
actual characters. We wait to be seen.
What I was actually going to say is, who would you like to see have a cameo in this
I
film?
honestly don't care.
Really?
Well, no, it's not about that, is it? It's not about... I mean, it's nice that...
Would you like to see George Lucas walking around in the background?
No, it's nice that...
play an alien.
It's nice that it's nice that Daniel Craig was in it, and you sort of, when you watch the film... I can remember saying to people when we were watching the film, that's Daniel Craig, and that's Simon Pegg, but you don't want it to detract from the movie.
No, not at all.
But it's a fun thing to go through the credits at the end, and you see Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
because Kevin Smith did a line of dialogue for one of the stormtroopers.
It is quite fun though when you suddenly think that's and go from there, if you know what I mean.
But I also don't want it to be
detracting.
To become a thing where it's another Star Wars. It's another Star Wars film. Who's going to be the secret cameo in this film? Just if it's very.
What was the
good.
name of the little Wookiee in the holiday special?
Lumpy.
Imagine him doing a cameo.
Yeah, but as what?
Lumpy grown up. Lumpy Stumpy.
Okay.
Can you get dwarf Wookiees?
I have no idea, mate. I don't know. I have to look on Wikipedia, wouldn't you?
I'll ask. So, Lord and Miller.
Who?
Lord and Miller. Behave, I got new teeth. Have spoken now about their departure from the Han Solo movie, making the comments on a panel for their MTV series Clone High. Lord said the experience of shooting the movie was wonderful. We had the most incredible cast and crew and collaborators. I think in terms of us leaving the project, I think everybody went in with a really good intentions, and our approach to making the movie was different from theirs. That was a really big gap to bridge, and it's over. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. And over too big. Lord managed to laugh, and he added, sometimes people break up and it's sad and disappointing, but it happens, and we learned a lot from our collaborators and we're better filmmakers for it. Miller also chimed in with some trademark levity on the whole situation. We're super well adjusted, obviously, we're doing great. We're super drunk right now, he joked. As Phil said, we had such a great relationship with the cast and crew. We were really rooting for them after we took a much needed vacation. We're now back into it, and we're now writing and producing a Lego movie sequel and producing the Miles Morales animated Spider-Man, which is quite exciting. So pretty amicable there, isn't it? They didn't really say a lot. So
Are they gonna say anything?
do you think they will? Are they the sort of people? This is what I was going to.
Why would they? If they start slagging off Lucasfilm?
I'm not saying they will. I'm asking, do you think
No,
they will?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you really think that they would?
I don't know,
Because
some people, somebody might
but
eventually.
it smacks of them saying the right things. I don't understand how they can go into a movie with a. If you think of all the pre-production that they do, that all of that kind of stuff, and setting up for it, this isn't a student film. This is a a multi-million-dollar movie, and then they say that our vision was like. What is it? What did they say? Something like a different level to theirs, or the gap was too much to bridge.
Yeah.
How would they? How can they get 6 months into filming the movie and then realise that they've got such a big gap? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, and especially how much footage they'd filmed.
Yeah,
and how much...
it doesn't make any sense that they would come out and say something like that. I'm not slagging them off because I like Lord and Miller. I love the Lego.
They're obviously being amicable, aren't they? Because somebody like Lucasfilm, let's be honest, or Disney could ruin if you do something completely and outspoke about it. I think they would ruin your career, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I just think it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up in the fact that they're saying all the right things. And again, I don't want to slag them off. I would have loved to have seen what a Lord and Miller Han Solo movie would have been like. My only worry is after seeing Justice League and seeing what a mess that was, with the fact that you had a director coming on late into the production schedule, if that's going to be the same for this movie.
So right. I haven't seen Justice League yet, but I know of the troubles that a lot of people have spoken.
I mean, and again, I'm not. There's a lot of people that think the same as me, and there are a lot of people that are the complete 180 with Justice League and love it. But I'm worried in the fact that they're obviously trying to make an out-and-out comedy. They were saying it's going to be like an Ace Ventura kind of movie. It was going to be that kind of slapstick movie.
Oh, really? I didn't realise it would be that
That's
much.
what they were saying. Well, that's the rumour.
Yeah.
And the rumour also is that Ron Howard has now shot like 75-80% of the movie. He's reshot that much, and that's how far away they were. And I don't understand how something as big as a Star Wars movie, they can be that out of control.
So obviously it needs a lot of like visual effects and things like that. Do you think reshooting a movie, are they going to have to change all those?
Well, no, because the visual effects, the visual effects are going to be things like if they got battles and fights and races and stuff like that. I can imagine that's all going to stay the same. It's going to be the human interaction, isn't it? That's going to be.
Yeah, but there are times when like let's say that we in an earlier podcast we showed that what looked like was going to be some sort of drag race or racing, wasn't it? There was the cars and that. Now, there was going to be an element of CG in there, or possibly that. So there's going to be dialogue, I would imagine, in that scene. And in communication and things like that. And if they put it, like you said, if the rumours were right, and that one of the reasons is it's like an Ace Ventura type comedy, that would still be in there. And you'd want to get rid of that, wouldn't you?
But then that's where the reshoots will come in, isn't it? They do an insert of Han Solo in the cockpit, and that will be where you can compare the shots probably from one shot, and then it cuts away, comes back, and he's got a slightly different haircut. Or
fingers crossed, or a stuck-on beard.
Yeah. Which
I mean,
again,
I get that. But...
going back to Justice League, that's what happens in one scene with Ben Affleck in his beard.
Right.
He all of a sudden has like a deeper tan. His beard is different. His haircut is slightly different, and you can see that it's different. It wasn't shot the same time. And I didn't really worry about that with the Han Solo movie until I saw Justice League. I saw how much of a mess it can be, and it can take you out of the movie.
But that's what I'm saying. With 75%, you're saying of the movie reshot, that is a lot of movie to reshoot.
That's what the rumor has been.
Yeah,
that's what the rumor has been, and the fact that Ron Howard will get directing credit.
Right.
So I think a director has to film 70 or 75% of the movie to get the directing credit. That's why I mean, I don't know how.
Joss Whedon also said that he didn't want to put his name on there in tribute.
Which, again, that's fair enough. But I'm sure that Ron Howard will.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be a Ron Howard movie. Isn't it? And we're drawing so close. I mean, what is it? 5.5 months? Is it 6 months?
6 months. 6 months.
That's not long, is it? We've not even had a trailer.
Well, the rumor is that it's going to come out in the first week of December.
Yeah, right.
With the Infinity War trailer.
Ooh, I heard that was out next week. Yes, it's exciting. Right, let's talk the TV spots that have been dropping fast, and
There's been
a slew of them, hasn't there?
Yeah.
We've already spoken about a couple. Now, the one I wanted to talk about first off is that we get our first view of Benicio del Toro as DJ on one of the TV spots. It was quite nice to see him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Still don't get what sort of character he is, do we, or anything, but it was just nice to see him there and in vision. So, highlights for you on these TV spots?
Every TV spot has pretty much had the same
Beats.
clips that we've seen before, but then each TV spot has had maybe one or two tiny slices of something new. My favourite one is the one where Luke is in Rey's ears all the time, and he's telling her to resist, and he's shouting at her.
Well, it's the training one, isn't it?
Yeah, and
the guidance.
And see, now I saw something on one today. I think it's been in every single clip where Rey is training with the lightsaber and then swings it and stops at that rock. The one that I saw today is where she swings the lightsaber through the rock, sort of straight through the rock.
Oh, really?
So whether that's going to be what they've done before, whether it's like, oh, you see that in the movie, but then it's slightly different, I don't know. There's another one where I think the one that I saw today, Rey is like looking very distressed, but like obviously she's using the Force on something. I think I can't remember the actual scene, but Poe is talking to Princess Leia, and he says something like permission to get in my X-wing and blow stuff up, and she says permission granted. So that was a really good line. I do like that.
That's well.
So they're really good TV spots that, again, they're not giving anything away. I'm teetering on the brink of whether I don't really want to see anything else now. We're at the point now where we're less than a month away.
And you're ready now just to watch it.
I just want to see the movie. Although, like I say, every time I see Rey and Luke together, especially when it looks like he's trying to train her and he's telling her to resist, and because she's obviously, whatever it is that she's feeling or she's seeing, it's pulling her.
Well, it's conflicted, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah. It's pulling her. But she said in one that she's, he's saying, "What do you see?" And she says, "I see the light, and so I see darkness, and I see something else." See, it's not telling you anything, but it's laying those seeds. I just want to see the movie.
Right. A question. I've actually got a little question for you. If the script was to drop tomorrow, online, we're what, less than 4? We're about 4 weeks away. Probably less, aren't we? A lot less, actually. Would you read it now before watching the movie?
I don't know, because I did that for Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones went online, and I printed it out. I actually printed out
that's like a long movie,
200 pages or whatever it was, and sat and read it all. So I'd done that. For Force Awakens, I can't remember whether it was Making Star Wars, their podcast, or whether it was Star Wars Underworld, is it, or something like that. They did like a 2-hour podcast where they had somebody that knew that what was happening in the film, and they went through it beat by beat, and I listened to that, and not everything was right, but they did talk about Han Solo dying. Spoilers if no one's watched Force Awakens. Han Solo dying on a bridge at the hand of Kylo Ren.
Right.
So when I watched the movie for the first time, when I saw Han Solo go out onto that bridge, I thought he's going to die. I thought if that's and then when I saw that obviously he was face to face with Kylo Ren,
you knew it was coming.
So I knew it was coming. Now, well, I would say now, no, I wouldn't. But I think
if I said to you now, like, here's the script,
I probably would.
Would you like to read it?
It would be like.
Do you not feel
opening the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah.
And
do you not feel that just spoils the?
See, the thing is, whenever I know a spoiler, it makes me want to see the movie more because I want to see that spoiler.
Was it not the script of Phantom Menace was released, actually published before the movie came?
No, it was the soundtrack, wasn't it?
That's right.
And it had on one of the tracks was called Qui-Gon's Noble End.
Yeah.
And then something like The Funeral and something like that. So that gave everything away.
Yeah.
Look, I really would like to sit here and say no, I wouldn't look at it. But I think the temptation, and I know there's probably loads of people that definitely wouldn't. They would take it out of your hands and burn it.
I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't burn it, but I wouldn't read it. It would just go on the side.
At the same time, the whole thing with Luke at the end of The Force Awakens, I didn't know that was going to happen, and that was an amazing thing to see at the end. The first time.
Like all of us in The Force Awakens, we thought Luke would appear earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. So, I mean, my heart says I wouldn't read it. My brain would probably take over and say, you've got to read it.
But going back to the TV spots, we don't really have those, do we? Not really. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars on our TV yet.
No, but then I wouldn't know because I don't watch normal TV.
Do you not?
I tend to watch all of my TV on YouTube and stuff, which is where all the TV spots are. So it's a different world now, isn't it? You don't. You're not glued to the TV and something pops up on there.
Well, I've been watching it. I have been watching a series on terrestrial TV, and I haven't seen one trailer yet for a Star Wars. So,
right.
Of anything of The Last Jedi.
No,
not yet. Might do.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got some questions.
Oh, we're back to Yoda's questions.
Yeah, and the first one actually pertains a little bit to what we just spoke about in regards to Han Solo. Janae, now it's Janae or Janae, I'm not sure. Janae Valdez, hello Janae, has said, is Han Solo really, really dead? There is no chance that he may pop back in another chapter, ? She just wanted to know.
I personally think, yes, he's really, really dead. For one, even if they had an inclination of bringing him back, I don't think Harrison Ford would. So I think, yeah, he's pretty much gone.
I think the reason that he threw himself into the publicity so much was for Force Awakens. Yeah, and it really, I think it would, well... I'm going to slag off Justice League because there's the whole everything goes back.
Chest, pal.
But again, spoilers if you haven't seen Justice League. So don't listen to this bit. But then it's obvious anyway. Everyone knows that Superman comes back. So then
he's in the publicity.
But that takes away everything about the fact that he dies because of how they bring him back. Because it means now no one can die. That sort of spoils things a little bit, maybe. Just with the way that they bring him back and also the whole final scene of Batman v Superman with the dirt makes that redundant. It means nothing. So if they brought back Han Solo, maybe if it was a flashback for like one scene or something,
I can't see Harrison Ford doing it.
I don't think Harrison Ford would do it either. But
really
to bring him back as a character, I don't think would work.
The only way they'll probably do it is flashback, maybe.
No,
I don't want them to, and I don't think they will.
But we're going to get a whole movie,
Han Solo movie,
Han Solo.
So he is coming back.
He is coming back. Yeah. Timothy McMahon said, I keep reading so many posts on social media that people are already saying that The Last Jedi is going to be the greatest Star Wars film of all time, even though no one has seen it yet. Are these people setting themselves up for disappointment, or are they seeing something in the marketing push that I am not? And he says, I'm not saying I think The Last Jedi won't be good. I just don't know why they are so confident this film will be beyond great.
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of this, people talking about how great it's going to be. Obviously, none of us know, and it could be a big sinking ship, and it could be one of the big disasters of a Star Wars movie literally flopping. It could. I mean, we have to prepare ourselves. I don't think it will. I think Rian Johnson is pretty much a director that's not going to fail. Whether it be the greatest Star Wars movie, I don't know. I don't know. They've got to really pull out the stops and keep people engaged to be sat there for 2.5 hours. That's the thing.
I think there's lots of different ingredients here. You have the goodwill that you get with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think you've got Rian Johnson,
who's like a critic's favourite,
and he's made some really, really good films.
Yeah.
You've also got the fact that The Force Awakens did so well and has now brought in new fans as well as the old fans. I also think that with the fact that there doesn't seem to be any kind of drama while they were making the film.
Yeah, that's another good one. I mean,
everybody has said how much fun it was to make the movie.
The industry will soon come against you. Other studios will start planting seeds, so they say that there's disruptions on set, etc. And there's been none of that on this one.
And the other thing that I think is it's not a nice thing to say, but I think they're going to get like the Paul Walker effect because of Carrie Fisher.
That's a good shout.
If you look at it from a box office point of view, because it's going to be potentially, if they do something different in episode 9, but it's going to be the last time we see Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia.
Do you think, though, it will be... I mean, it's going to be a huge box office takings. Do you think... I mean, we've spoken about this. One thing... Actually, I'm not going to ask you, do you think... Personally, I think it's not going to quite do the money now because of the running time.
I don't know, but I personally think it's going to get up close to 2 billion.
Yeah.
When it's finished its run. It may not hit the... I don't know what it was. I know that Force Awakens took over 2 billion. I just got that funny feeling because of Carrie Fisher, and I think... Again, we're doing a Star Wars show, so we're not going to be... we're going to be biased.
Of course
I think it's going to be an amazing movie. I've said so many times that I still love The Force Awakens after however many showings, after 2 years.
And obviously there's been that sort of backlash against The Force Awakens where people have come back.
But that's natural.
Always happens. But obviously one of the big things that a lot of people have said after seeing the movie that, it's just a new hope, a reimagining. No, it had the same beats, and obviously that's what people want to see.
And everybody is now saying that this is going to have the same beats as Empire Strikes Back.
And I'm not going to be that disappointed if it has. I don't think they're going to come out and go, Ray, I'm your father. I don't think there's going to be any of that. I think that's just too much if they did that. But I do think they're going to show, and there's going to be some shocks in there.
I think they will.
I really do.
But then, if it's part of a trilogy, this is the second act.
The second act
second act normally ends with some kind of twist or something to be resolved in the third act.
Yeah.
So if everyone starts going, there's a twist in it, look at any trilogy that is a running trilogy.
Yeah.
The second one is always the darker one that has some kind of thing that has to be resolved in the third one anyway. So but like I say, it seems to be now fashionable to knock The Force Awakens. I'm not going to be one of those people that does that.
I still love it. Whenever it's, whenever somebody watches it, I pass, I always sit and probably finish it when I shouldn't.
I do as well. Right, the final question from Tim Wainwright.
Hello, Tim.
Another Tim. He says, something bugs me about the lightsabers. It always has when the Jedi hits either a robot or a stormtrooper with a lightsaber, they collapse and go down. How come when they hit a person or an arm, it cuts either clean through or they actually disappear? This has bugged me for many, many years. Why don't stormtroopers get cut in half or disappear like Obi-Wan did? Anyone else think the same as me? Now, first I want to say about Obi-Wan Kenobi. The reason he disappeared is because he gave himself up to the Force.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he got killed by the lightsaber. He made the conscious decision.
He says it.
Yeah, he made the conscious decision. He looked at Luke and he decided that he was going to become more powerful than Vader could possibly imagine. So that is why that particular time when he swung the lightsaber, Obi-Wan Kenobi disappeared. It's because he gave up his physical form to be at one with Force so that he could help Luke in the future as a hologram. He gave himself up to the Force. When it comes to stormtroopers and things like that, I think for me that's just like poetic license in the fact that...
Well, also from a studio's point of view, right, it is sort of poetic license, but you can put in a shot kill, so like Qui-Gon getting cut in half or whatever and that. But if you had a whole movie full of limbs flying, you think how many stormtroopers have been killed?
Yeah.
That's going to be limbs flying all over the place. That's not family friendly.
No. So the occasional hand or the arm being lopped off, and I think the way that they always say about a lightsaber wound is that there's normally no blood because
it
cauterizes the wound as you cut the arm off. So there wouldn't be any blood anywhere. I can definitely see what Tim is saying in regards to the fact that if you're cutting down swathes of stormtroopers, there should be arms and legs flailing anywhere. But like you say, that's not a Disney movie.
No, that's
you can't go.
That's a samurai movie, isn't it? That's that's a Tarantino movie.
But it is an interesting. It is
also
an interesting
the droids, though. If you think of like the Phantom Menace, when they're slicing through those battle droids on there, they're pretty much folding and cutting in half.
They are. Yeah, they are. I think it's when you've got like a human inside.
Yeah.
That they won't flail off arms and legs.
No, you just can't.
No.
CGI the blood squirting out.
Yeah.
It's just it's. No, it's not.
But that's a great
question, Tim. And likewise, if you'd like to send any questions to us, you can either comment on the video below or you can email us at pancast@live.com.
Or even go to our Facebook page. Come to Facebook and follow us at Pancast Productions. I gave what I gave.
Yeah, no, absolutely great. So we'd love to hear from you. And
great.
Do remember when you comment on the video to press the like button as well. That would be very nice.
And come and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and also on Stitcher. And you can leave us a nice review, and a 5-star rating would be wonderful. Thank you very, 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 very much. And then you can listen to all 55 episodes.
55!
Yeah.
That's a lot of episodes.
There you go. So I think we'll be hitting... we won't be hitting 60 episodes when Star Wars comes out, will we? But I don't know what episode number it'll be, but we're getting very, very close.
It is close. Excited?
It's too close, but it's too far away.
It's in reaching distance.
It is in. I can almost smell the popcorn. I can't wait. I just can't wait. So much so that now, I'm going on my own on the opening night now because my daughter's not coming with me. Which means now I've got a spare space next to me, so I'll be able to sort of really stretch out and put all of my food on my own sort of like table.
Just remember those seats fold.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't put like popcorn up and it twangs up. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to that, to be able to see The Force Awakens on the big screen again.
I can always remember just a quick anecdote. I was at the cinema. I can't remember what film I was seeing, but it got to an ever such a tense moment, and somebody ripped open a packet, and then you heard all those sort of whatever it is, Maltesers or M&Ms just go. Everybody laughed. Don't be doing that.
Oh no, I won't be doing that. So that's it. That's it for episode 55 of That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
So thank you very much for listening and or watching, and we will see you again next week, bright and early, same time, same place, same movies. And may the Force be with you all.
Wait.